for Sabri and my uncle Pimu, the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Sabri no more issue a statement, tin. The Akoma, the communication director at the ma NDC Amunyo Kono. Or more issue statement, tin. The Akoma, the communication director at the ma NDC Amunyo Kono. Sammy Gyamfi. Now this comes after say Sammy Gyamfi got na internet interview so on a program so and or the Innōcent to that the Innōcent by elections also concern it be a qualified some contest it being qualified talking of NPP candidate or mobile which is some near door so now permit me to read all the statements or the press release from the Electoral Commission of Ghana. So this statement about on ASC June 2023. So re-eligibility of qualified NPP parliamentary aspirants in the Innōcent North by elections. The attention of the Electoral Commission has been drawn to another misleading statement by the National Communication Officer of the NDC. The Commission, in its previous response to the National Communication Officer, stated that per Article 94 of the 1992 Constitution, a person qualifies to contest as a candidate for a parliamentary elections as long as he is registered voter, at least 21 years of age, hails from or is a resident or has resided in the constituency for a total of 5 years in the last 10 years preceding to the election he or she seeks to contest. This is a position of the 1992 Constitution, which is the fundamental law of Ghana. The National Communication Officer of the NDC has, in its response, makes the claim that the EC only relied on 1992 Constitution and make the case that the person need not to be a registered voter in the constituency he or she intends to stand for elections. He asserts that the EC should have also relied on the constitutional instrument 127 and in particular the nomination forms contained in the CI 127 before arriving at the conclusion that a person needs to be registered voter in the same constituency he or she intends to contest. To buttress his point, he states that the phrase of the same constituency on the parliamentary nomination form implies that a candidate for a parliamentary election must be a registered voter in the same constituency he or she intends to contest, and that the phrase of the same constituency on the nomination forms should override the constitution. This argument is flawed. For the benefit of the public, the nomination form states as follows. Now, we know a nomination forms na rules kakra. Also, we are undersigned registered voters in dash constituency do hereby nominate dash of the same constituency to stand for election as a member of parliament, and we hereby certify that do the best of our knowledge he or she is qualified to be elected as such. Yes, we are also and the EC can the communication director of the NDC. I say clearly, as stated above, the nomination form only requires those nominating a candidate for a parliamentary election in the constituency to be registered voters in the same constituency and not the candidate who is being nominated to contest. The candidate is only required to hail from or reside in the constituency to qualify to contest in that constituency. If one should intercept what is stated in the parliamentary nomination form to imply that the candidate must also be a registered voter in the same constituency, that would be absurd, unreasonable, illogical, and unconstitutional, to borrow some of the words of Sammy Gyamfi na say we nsɛm bi a ɛwo ɔmo press release ni mu na ɛnyɛ no nko na ɔmo tim de tu dwa ɔmo de nsɛm no kyerɛ letter ni mu nsɛm de dɔɔso paa ɔsɛ was Sammy Gyamfi not aware of the phrase of the same constituency on the nomination form before allowing the candidate for the Kumawu by-election who is not a registered voter in the Kumawu to contest in the recent by-elections for the information of the general public. Then this candidate for the recent by-elections, Mr. Kwesi Amankwa, is not a registered voter in the Kumawu constituency. He is not a registered voter in the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency in the Greater Accra region. Yet he contested in the Kumawu by-election because he hails from there. Why didn't the NDC raise that issue ahead of the Kumawu constituency by-elections? Where first question Obusa the NDC, the Director of Communication, Sammy Gyamfi, I say the fact still remains that the allegation by Sammy Gyamfi to the effect that EC is working with the NDP to sneak an unregistered voter into the Assembly North register is false. It is untrue, and we call Sammy Gyamfi to prove this. Over the years, Sammy Gyamfi and his party have not put out false claims about the false claims aimed at muggling the integrity of the EC. This was evident in their position to the Supreme Court after 2020 elections, alleging that they won the election. It is well known that they could not prove evidence to court to support the allegation. This current allegation is pretty different. It's no difference. It is baseless and unfounded, and figment of the imagination of the National Communication Officer. We call on well-meaning Ghanaians to ignore this. Ghanaian democracy has come to the age and can call on Sammy Gyamfi to exercise maturity, decorum and truth in the discussions on the EC. We urge him to go out of the campaign and leave the EC alone. As a commission, we remain committed to conducting transparent, peaceful and credible elections. We still devote our time to fulfilling our constitutional mandate, having provided the public with the truth on this matter that's signed by the Public Affairs Department of the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Where someone if the EC or Makatia or Madi Eba. Just in some a war statement, you know, papa, Sabe de Sammy Gyamfi or Gina Homena, na EC a man who the Bobre, just a Makana papa at Chileno, baby, I was say a day as some not me at the FA. When you someone between your pronunciation, Genius are yet me a dear Mutim, the other. So my mom didn't our comment session. So, Yadamasi be brave.